This latest release on Netflix puts a slight twist on the way that TV shows are normally presented to us as viewers. Instead of providing a structure in which it's given to us, we had free reign on deciding which episodes of the show we could watch, with the story being told to us through different passages of time. This meant that the episodes didn't have numbers associated with them. Instead, colors. Colors for the reason that it made sense due to the name of the show being Kaleidoscope. But it got me thinking, what did the colors actually mean? Well, with that, I thought I'd break down and explain what all 9 colors represent for each of the episodes in the show. So let's get into it. Here is the meaning of every color in Kaleidoscope. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Within the show, there were 9 different colors that we had, if you include the short intro episode that was titled Black. So there was black, yellow, green, blue, orange, violet, red, pink, and white. And I believe they each stood for something different and connected to the episodes. Let's start with the color black. Black was the short 45-second clip that we had at the start of the series that informed us of the heist that was going to be taking place, and it also explained the viewing experience to us. Black is often said to symbolize mystery, death, evil, grief, and mourning, so a lot of different things. But I think it was a good way for the show to start, and it utilized a color that represented all that the show embodied. If you think about it, there was the mystery surrounding the heist on if it was going to be successful, death due to individuals being killed such as RJ, Bob, and Leo, and as well, grief and mourning due to the loss of Lily, which was one of the main reasons as to why the heist was even taking place. Yellow. Within the episode that was titled Yellow, we saw Leo assemble the crew that he wanted to carry out the heist that was taking place. So it was a first for a few of them, but it was the main time that the plan was kick-started. The color yellow is often said to symbolize happiness, hope, and optimism, something we saw throughout this specific episode. We had a reunion of old friends, with it being Leo, Stan, and Ava, providing the happiness element. And as well, we had hope and optimism around the success of the heist that had just been planned out and had the crew decided and confirmed. Green. I thought green was a particularly interesting color of choice for this episode. Other than the aesthetic of the green uniform that Leo was wearing in prison under his original identity of Ray, green is often said to symbolize and be representative of luck and also rebirth. In this episode, we saw that luck needed to be on the side of Ray, as this was when he devised the plan to break out from prison, which he did do successfully. But in terms of its connection to rebirth, this was the episode where we saw Ava acquire the new documents for Ray, to be known as Leo on the outside, and she made it look like Ray was killed, essentially allowing him to be born again under this new identity where he'd be able to go on and live a new life. Blue. Blue was an episode that was set 5 days before the heist, and there was one major thing that occurred in this episode. The backdoor and bypass to the SLS systems that was set up many years ago due to Leo paying somebody to do so was found out about and shut down, ruining the plan that was devised to get into the vault in just 5 days' time. The color blue links to this episode because the color symbolizes intuition, imagination, and inspiration. Something we saw Leo go through and experience when he had to pivot, use his imagination, and utilize the storm that was set to occur instead. We also saw the rest of the group imagining what they'd do once they got a hold of their share of the $7 billion, so it was a rather appropriate color to choose. Orange. The color orange is said to symbolize energy and optimism, and this was something that we definitely saw being embodied throughout the entirety of this episode. We had the FBI upping their involvement in staking out Ava and Bob, and they were getting closer to joining the pieces and finding out more information. We had Nazan getting closer to being reunited with her son, whilst she was also igniting sparks in the blossoming of a newfound relationship with her fellow agent. Along with that, we also had Ava agreeing to work for the FBI, which ultimately meant that she got back involved in the heist that was taking place, showing the energy, excitement, and optimism for the future. Violet. The episode Violet was the inclusion that was set the furthest back in the past. It was 24 years prior to the heist that we saw taking place. Violet is said to represent mourning and ambition. I think this connected to the episode for a couple of different reasons. There was ambition ingrained throughout this episode in a number of different ways. One was in the fact that Ray set up his own business and wanted to get out of the life of crime that he was leading due to the risks that were being taken, and there was also ambition in carrying out a high-paying robbery that would have also allowed him to get revenge on the club that treated his wife, himself, and his daughter Hannah badly. In terms of the mourning element of the colour, this was the episode where we saw Ray's wife Lily succumb to the injuries that she endured when she got caught up in the fire, meaning that Ray was mourning his wife in that moment, as well as his previous life as he got taken away. Red. The episode that was titled Red was the shortest episode out of the entirety of the series, and it was set the morning after the heist took place. Red is said to represent and symbolize danger, and it's most probably the most universal color when it comes to understanding what it means. Within this episode, we saw the aftermath of what unfolded in the heist. Nobody knew if they could trust each other anymore, the bonds were missing, and they were in danger of being caught, as we saw almost did happen when Carlos arrived and was in the warehouse where the crew all met post the heist. We also saw the danger that Roger was in, following on from us seeing the diamond that was placed inside of his safe. And as well, we saw Carlos take out Stan's family, so danger was present all throughout the episode. Pink. The episode Pink was an interesting one, because there were so many elements of pink incorporated throughout this specific episode. The teddy bear, the earphones, the van, the walls of the motel, the leaves on the tree, and the blood as well. Pink is often said to represent romance, love, and passion, which was something that I would say was incorporated in this episode, even though it wasn't the main focus. We had Bob writing love letters to Judy because he wanted to be back with her. We had Stan and Judy looking as though they were living a life together, and Leo and Ava living together and seeming as though they were romantically engaged. So it's hard to draw up parallels with the destructive, devastating, death-filled nature of the episode, but the heartbreak and romance was definitely something that was present. White. The episode titled White was the feature that contained the heist that we'd been building up to. White is said to symbolize simplicity, purity, and peace, something that we saw taking place for the most part of the heist. The first 11 minutes of the episode didn't contain a single word of dialogue as we saw the cleanest, smoothest, choreographed and rehearsed heist scene take place, leaning in on the purity and simplicity element. With Hannah also being behind the twist that occurred with her taking the bonds, she wanted her father Leo to be able to live in peace post the heist taking place, as if she had have let him rob the triplets they would have hunted him down. However, it was all for nothing as Roger's son took him out anyway. I also believe that Leo found inner peace at the end of the episode where he placed the diamond inside of Roger's safe. All of the colours mean different things in the Kaleidoscope series, and whilst this hasn't been the official meaning of why they're titled that, the symbolism of these colours is something that most definitely carries over, and is why I believe they were incorporated in those specific episodes. So, there you have it, the meaning of every colour in Kaleidoscope. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What was your favourite episode? Leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.